For centuries, measles was one of the most feared diseases in human history. It spread rapidly, left millions suffering, and shaped the course of medicine in ways few other illnesses have. But in the 20th century, something remarkable happened. A vaccine was developed, and within a few decades, measles cases plummeted worldwide. In some countries, the disease was nearly eliminated. Yet today, measles is back in the headlines. Cases have been rising, sparking renewed discussions about public health and disease prevention. But what exactly is measles? Where did it come from? And how did we go from fearing it, to nearly erasing it, to seeing it reappear once again? To answer these questions, we need to go back, way back to the origins of measles itself, where it all began. Measles is one of the oldest recorded diseases. Scientists believe it originated from a virus that jumped from animals to humans around 3,000 years ago. For centuries, outbreaks were common, especially in densely populated areas where people lived in close quarters. In medieval Europe, measles was considered a common childhood disease, but it was often deadly, especially for infants and the malnourished. As global trade expanded, so did measles. When European explorers traveled to new lands, they unknowingly carried the virus with them, introducing it to populations that had never encountered it before, with devastating consequences. Historical records from 10th century Persia describe measles as a disease more feared than smallpox. A Persian physician named al-Razi studied it closely, writing one of the first medical texts that distinguished measles from other infectious diseases. He wrote that measles was a disease of childhood, yet one which leaves its scars long after the fever fades. He may not have known the scientific cause, but his observations laid the groundwork for future medical understanding. In the Americas, measles, along with smallpox and other diseases, had a catastrophic impact on indigenous communities. With no immunity, entire villages were wiped out, changing the course of history. By the early 20th century, measles was one of the leading causes of childhood deaths worldwide. The virus spreads through the air, meaning a single infected person could unknowingly expose an entire room. Symptoms start like a cold, fever, cough, runny nose, but soon the distinctive red rash appears, spreading across the body. Complications, including pneumonia and brain swelling, made measles especially dangerous for young children. In fact, measles is one of the most contagious diseases ever recorded, even more so than influenza or COVID-19. In unvaccinated populations, an outbreak can spread rapidly, infecting nearly everyone exposed. At its peak, measles killed over 2.5 million people per year worldwide, but that was about to change. In the 1950s, American microbiologist John Enders and his team developed the first measles vaccine. By the 1960s, mass vaccination campaigns were launched worldwide. The results were astounding. Within just a few decades, measles cases dropped by over 99% in many countries. By the year 2000, the United States declared measles eliminated. Public health officials saw measles as one of the greatest success stories in modern medicine. But diseases don't just disappear, they linger, waiting for an opportunity to return. In recent years, measles cases have started rising again in several parts of the world. Experts point to a combination of factors: population movement, declining immunization rates, and global travel, allowing the virus to regain a foothold. While measles remains rare in many regions, health organizations stress the importance of continued vaccination and global cooperation to prevent large-scale outbreaks. The story of measles is a reminder that diseases of the past can re-emerge, but history also shows that with science and public health efforts, we have the power to control them. What happens next? That depends on the choices we make today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.